If you look up how to break in a baseball glove, you'll see people using hot water, cold water, room temperature water, and a lot of people love it. But I've also noticed people absolutely despise when you use any water at all. So are they right? Are we ruining the glove? Let's go find out. Okay, so these are some of the gloves remaining that I'm breaking in for you guys. Why are there so few? It's because we took a small break, but today I'm officially reopening glove break-in. So if you want me to break in your glove, ballgloveking.com, order a break-in, I'll make it happen. Side note, this is the same guy who sent these in, Michael. These are sick. So the goal for today is to find all positives and all negatives of using water while breaking in your glove. So quickly, let's talk about the different ways you can use water. You can use a wet sponge to apply the water. You can put it under the sink. You can use a mug to pour over it, or you could even dip it in a bucket. This is the example that I've come to love. So we're gonna use this as our example for the rest of the video. I need to find cooler buckets. I will say dipping it by far takes the longest time to dry. So that's something to consider when you're making up your mind. I hold it under for like 20 or 25 seconds, room temperature water, and a lot of times come up, do a little bit of a shimmy, and then just put it right back under. I don't know if it does anything, I just do that. So the glove is absolutely soaked. So sometimes you can kind of squeeze out some of the extra water, like in the wrist, the fur, and different things like that. Get it to the point where it's no longer dripping. And then the glove log. A lot of times I will start with just some simple handwork, working in like the hinges and whatnot, kind of learning the glove. But I'll be honest, I learned the glove before I get it soaked. But anyway, move it around with your hands a little bit. And then if you have a mallet, this is where all the work gets done. Don't make fun of my office chair. Doesn't really fit the vibe of the room. Obviously, at this point, I'm just breaking in the glove, trying to loosen it up any way we can. A big tip I get from a lot of guys who do this, undo any knots. It typically is the best thing to do. This is my glove. I should do that, but I'm not. In case you're not following, the glove being wet makes it more malleable. I can't really say that word, but it moves more. It listens to me more. So, our first positive by far, there is way less mashing of the glove when we do water. Realistically, it's probably like 20% of the mashing that you would do with just a normal dry glove. It is way faster and just like way more effective. You can really manipulate the leather when you do it this way. For anybody who's gonna say, why would you do that? You can just go play catch. Let me show you this. David, thank you for sending this in. This is an A2000 with spin control. It's a very stiff glove. That's what it looks like when you squeeze it. I promise, I'm squeezing it like the best that I possibly can. That is a horrid, ugly, disgusting glove. And this is the kind of stuff that happens when you just go play catch. Not every time, but often. So you can ruin a glove by trying to do this, or you can make a glove beautiful and wonderful by doing something like this.
It's not worth like taking the risk.
Yeah, there are gloves where you could just go play catch. It's true. But for the majority of high quality leathers, you gotta do something where you're intentionally molding and shaping the glove. So letting the glove dry brings us straight into our second positive. Come over my shoulder here. While the glove is still wet, you need to shape this thing exactly how you want it, and also make sure your hand is like pushed into this glove the way you want to close. Because, oh my goodness, it will dry exactly how you leave it, and it's like a miracle. You'll put the glove on when it's dry. Just lovely. Lovely is a weird word to use, but yeah. Obviously, you can see I'm hanging mine, but you guys can set them down on a rack because there's nothing underneath it. It'll help it dry a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. Just set it down on a shelf. Good to go. Once again, the second positive is how much you can mold the glove to your hand when it gets wet. Now, this gets us into our first con. Follow me. The gloves have to dry for 48 to 72 hours, even longer sometimes based on the leather. That's kind of a long time. So first negative, long time to dry. We don't love that. All right, so this glove is clearly wet and it needs to dry, so we're not using that as an example anymore. This Rawlings back here has actually been drying for 4 days now, so it's very dry, it's good to go. Holton, thank you for sending this out. You were actually our first order, which means later in this video, I'm gonna pick out a whole new glove to send you home with, so you're gonna get 2 gloves instead of just 1. Also, side note, we're close to the 50th order, and the 50th order also gets a free random glove sent home with them. It's not really random. I'm gonna base it off what you send me. If you send me a first baseman, maybe I'll send you another first baseman. I don't know. Anyway, Holton, thank you. Pretend I'm a child and I'm like running over, oh, I got my glove. I think it's finally dry now. I put it on. Why is it so stiff? Oh no, it didn't work. I guess this is our second con. Prank! This isn't the second con. The glove is gonna be stiff. So I've done zero work with this glove since it dried, and they do stiffen up quite a bit. So you'll put it on and be like, not impressed. Come over here, grab a mallet. Boomity bang, boomity bang, bang. Just like literally hit this thing everywhere. Get that web a little bit, that top spiral. Boom. Kind of fish. Finish off with the pocket, right? Boom. Put this on again. It feels like I've gamed this glove for like a very long time. This feels amazing. So, you have to finish it off with one more little round of hitting. We just achieved a form that would normally take weeks or months to get to. Now, granted, look at this glove. It's pretty dang worn. He actually did use this glove that looked like a decent amount before he sent it in. But this form right here, impeccable. I don't really know what that means, but it's a good thing. It really is like a cheat code. You can get a glove to feel like you've already been using it for months when you got it a few days ago. We said molding was one of our positives, but shaping is also a positive. Molding is like your hand, shaping is like the glove's pattern. Loving it. The glove looks amazing, but if you do pay attention, it kind of looks and feels just slightly dry. Go condition it. I'm about to condition this thing, and then it's like ready to go home with the second glove. I'm currently trying to pick a glove for Holton. I'm thinking maybe like a one-piece web because he pitches and plays infield. So I'm stopping this video for a reason though. Little bit of an announcement. Once a month, I'm gonna make a video focused on break-in orders. That means your cool gloves, your crazy bad gloves are gonna be in the video. And I encourage you guys, throw in your Instagram handles because it's a cool way for me to actually tag you guys and kind of interact further on Instagram. The break-in orders have been super fun for me, and it's a really cool way for me to actually connect with you guys in a different way. Just this hasn't been possible in the past, and I've been loving it. So thank you for ordering break-ins. Keep it coming. So I've got a negative that's probably gonna bother a lot of you. So this is Cohen's glove. It's a Rev 1X, going 2 in the pinky, finger out, everything's great, but what are these watermarks? So that's kind of a big deal. We want to get rid of those. So this happens occasionally. It's from the water we dipped it in. It had minerals in it, and now those minerals are showing up on the leather. I contacted Matt Walden to ask him what does he do when he sees this problem. The first thing I do is get that spot wet again. But if I notice it while it's drying, I use a little bit of 70% alcohol spray on it, and that seems to work. He mentioned that it wasn't too rough, and it also evaporates really quickly. And then to top it off, of course, we'll condition that spot again afterwards because you don't really want to put alcohol on it, but if it's gonna get rid of those weird, dumb little things, great. By the way, Matt Walden is the guy who lived in Japan for a while, came back, he makes these like glove tools now. They're the ones I use, I love them. He's a smart fella. That's why I asked him. He's not a fart smeller. So in the past, I've done 2 different things to get rid of those watermarks. For one, just more time seems to help quite a bit. Like they do eventually go away, but then for 2, conditioning it makes a huge difference. But what I've never done is the alcohol. Here we are. That doesn't even say Walgreens, but we're at a store. I wonder how long it'll see to see the results of it. I'm about to make your day. Watch this. That wasn't cool at all.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I wonder if it doesn't work with alcohol. Don't put that in the video. He mentioned that if he notices it while it's drying. So I'm actually going to get this palm a little bit wet first with just a normal water sponge, but then we're gonna use our alcohol sponge and very lightly apply this. Let's do a quick before and after. But of course it's wet right now, so I'll show it to you when it's dry. I wanna show you an example of just using conditioner to kind of make this go away because that would be a lot easier. Come here, come here. Do you see that little water line right there? Let's make that go away. So I watered this glove probably 4 days ago, maybe 3. It's my glove, so I honestly wasn't keeping track. All I'm gonna do is apply conditioner. That doesn't sound right. This takes a lot longer than you would think, so I'm just gonna skip to the end. This is officially done, but for the next day or so, that conditioner is gonna kind of even out throughout the glove. It won't look as splotchy. We'll come back to that. It's only been a few minutes, and this actually looks really, really good so far. We didn't use a lot of water, so it's already drying up, and the alcohol is gonna dry up super fast. I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I saw like a spot up here that I kind of missed, so I can just go back with just a little bit of alcohol and kind of cover that up. But I'm pretty dang happy with that. Those are actually fantastic results. So now I know when I want to fix this, alcohol, if it's ever extreme, is the solution. But one big question is, why did it get there in the first place? Yes, I mentioned minerals in the water, but I noticed, wait a second, this glove, that was pretty bad. This one, it was pretty minor, just one little spot. What was the difference? I just realized a second ago. With that Rev 1X, I failed to change this water for 1, maybe even 2 gloves before it. Meaning, I dunked it, left the water in here, dunked it, left the water in here. Stuff is just floating around. There's stuff in that water that's not good for the glove. It resulted in watermarks, more watermarks than usual. There's typically none. Let me show you some of these. Absolutely stunning, beautiful glove, 0 watermarks. This is a Rawlings, absolutely stunning, beautiful glove, 0 watermarks. With all this being said, you guys, always learn. Always be a student. I'm happy to admit when I do something wrong, like today, we fixed our error, but it started with me messing up with the bucket, right? Jesus is better. I'm gonna go pick out a glove for Holton because he gets an extra glove because he was my first order ever. The 50th also gets an extra glove. With that being said, let me just show you the positives and negatives. If you're breaking in a glove at home, you need to decide what you wanna do. Thank you guys for watching.
And Holton, I'm gonna send you home with this SSK Z9. Thank you for being the first ever BGK break-in order.